And we turn now to the Executive Director of the World Food Program, Cindy McCain, also part of the United Nations. Director McCain, we just heard this ceasefire is bringing some aid into Gaza, but UNICEF just published some information saying that there is a life-threatening form of malnutrition in children that could increase by nearly 30% in Gaza. Weakened immune systems, weight loss, death from illness like common cold and diarrhea. They are talking simply about the children who make up half the population. What are you doing to prevent this from happening?
Well, thank you for having me. First of all, the bottom line here is that we need to get more aid in, as has been said. We are looking at possibly being on the brink of famine in this region. This is something that's not only terrific, but it will spread. And with that comes disease and everything else that you can imagine. Bottom line, we need more trucks in, we need more aid in, we need to be able to have more access to be able to distribute the aid. And you know, hopefully maybe a longer time to do that, not just 4 days. We look forward to making sure that we can work with all of our partners on the ground and in the area to make sure that this can happen. And I want to thank the Egyptians for being so helpful in all of this.
UNICEF also said approximately 30,000 children under the age of 5 in Gaza had stunted growth. And this was even before the war began.
Right.
Why?
Well, the access for aid, again, prior to the war and then, of course, since the war, has been an issue all along. And the ability to make sure that these children get the proper nutrients, not just food, but the proper nutrients in this. It's a terrific situation. It is a massive, catastrophic event that is occurring, and it will cross regions as it happens. We have got to be able to get in there, and not only that, we have to make sure that we can safely have access to be able to feed the people that we need to feed. So far, we've fed about 110,000 since the ceasefire, but we need to do a lot more than that.
For the next generations, no doubt. I know you are looking at the entire globe here, and there is a lot of need right now. I read that the World Food Program had to cut off 10 million people in Afghanistan. In Africa, you've announced you have to end food aid for more than 1 million people in Chad, suspend aid in Nigeria, in CAR and Cameroon. How do you possibly prioritize need, and how do you decide who to cut off?
Oh, Margaret, it's something that keeps me awake at night, and that's the honest truth. It's very difficult to do, but the problem is not just the ability to not be able to feed, but it's the problem is the world needs to step up and help us. Cutting off 10 million people, primarily women and children in Afghanistan, it's deadly. It will kill the country. So we've got to be able to make sure that we can get aid in, and more importantly, we need our countries around the world, not just the United States, but every country in the world, to step up and help us to feed people who cannot feed themselves.
The last time we spoke, you emphasized that some countries could provide technology, advice on how to do it if they don't want to kick in money. China, of course, is one of those countries that's been pressed to do more here. Are you seeing anything more?
Well, I'm seeing other countries, yes, step up and offer things and begin to work with us on a daily basis to see how we can better improve not just what we give, but how it's grown and can be grown with less water, more technology. It's a series of things to try to combat not only climate change, but the effects of COVID as well as conflict. It's a long-range prospect, but we do need the technology.
And specifically, the crisis was made worse by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which is such a breadbasket for the world. How significant is that conflict now on supply?
Well, as you know, it has managed to really devastate many countries, not just from not having enough grain to be able to distribute, but also enough money to be able to do that. The Russian invasion has caused catastrophic effects that have dribbled all the way down through Africa, as was mentioned, and so forth. Ukraine was very significant in all of this. We are getting grain out. As you know, it's going in different directions, but we are getting some out. But this is a catastrophic event, as I said, and it's affected nearly every country in the world.
Well, Director McCain, we thank you for working on these hard issues and your time today.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.